Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Hello, and welcome to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm the attorney, Brooke Brigham.
And I'm the therapist, Tess Brigham.
And we're here today to talk about Sister Wives. And something very, very exciting happened a couple days ago. I was in my bed in the morning, scrolling through social media as I'm known to do. And I came upon the trailer. TLC released the trailer for season 18?
Yes.
Yeah. Season 18, it starts August 20th. I could not believe it. It had just been posted like 7 minutes before I saw it. I watched the trailer. I was just kind of in another place. I was like so excited and shocked that I was actually seeing it. And then I watched the trailer and I audibly screamed at the end. It was so exciting.
Yes.
And so much happened. And so I don't know. We want to talk about it. I guess we could just go through it
moment by moment. I haven't watched it. I mean, I've watched it a few times, but I don't know if I can remember every last moment. I had that morning, a long time ago, I had agreed to do a talk at 7:00 in the morning in San Jose, which is like an hour and 10 minutes away. So I had been up since 4:50 in the morning. Don't even ask. And so I got your text and I was just like, I don't even know what this is. I can't deal with this right now. So I had gotten all the way back from San Jose. I think it was like 10:00 in the morning and I had been up for hours and I was like, oh, I was so excited to see it. And it was the same thing. And it was like, oh, it's back. But I thought I was so excited when I heard that it was back on August 20th, because I assumed that this was like a little teaser.
Right.
And then I was going to hear that it wasn't going to be back till November or something like that. But that last line when Janelle's like, fuck you.
Oh,
I was
my
just like,
God.
Yes.
No, this was
so good.
It's an intense
trailer.
It is
so
it's very intense. Okay, so basically, where to start? Okay, so Kody and Janelle, they show clips of them talking. They're at a restaurant, I believe. And she's saying, I don't really think you want to live plural marriage anymore. It doesn't seem like it. And, he doesn't answer. But they're setting up this tension between the two of them. And I don't know if there was another scene with the two of them before that final scene. But the final scene is he's at her apartment. She's still living in this little 2-bedroom apartment. And it's Christmas time. There's a Christmas tree up. So this must have been Christmas of 2022. Because I think that the prior season was 2021. They're like at least a year behind us. So he's in the kitchen and she's telling him, you know, you can't blame this all on me. And then he comes to sit down next to her on the couch. And then, you know, she can't get a word in. He's like talking. And then she says, what does she say? She says, shut your fucking mouth for a minute and let me talk. And then he's like, oh, no, you're not going to talk to me that way. And he gets up to storm out, and she kind of grabs his arm as he's leaving, and he, you know, flings it away. And she's like, oh, okay, so are we done or something like that? And I forget what he says. And then she says, fuck you, like as he's walking out the door. He's slamming the door and she's saying fuck you at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, we see the scene with her telling Christine, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
She says, I don't want to be married anymore.
I don't want to be married anymore. And then we see these scenes with, I guess, Meri talking to Robin and saying, like, I don't think he wants to be with me anymore. And I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And then the best is Robin like, I thought that porch, children, grandchildren.
With no tears. No tears.
That was the best. And then Garrison saying, yeah, we don't need him. We're good.
Shit, Robin, you can have him.
Yeah, take him.
We're grown.
Yeah. So, but it is explosive. It is.
Yeah.
It's very much going to be. Last season was the Christine season, and this season, Janelle's season.
Yes.
This is the reckoning, not the reckoning of, but the rising of Janelle.
Yeah. Well, and they also show a scene where Kody and Christine are having dinner.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And she says, well, you know, if you can't look back with a sense of humor about this, then I don't know what the point is. So I think he's probably still, you know, she's trying to just make nice with him, and he's still trying to guilt trip her and the usual Kody stuff. And so in every single scene, Kody is like, very angry, talking about how, you know, he's not laughing. This isn't, you know, everything's falling apart. He's mad. He's upset. And then he says something like, well, maybe I should just be the devil that I think I am.
Oh, yes.
Which kind of didn't make sense. Shouldn't it be the devil who they think I am?
Yes.
But he got that expression wrong. But yeah, he's just not.
Oh, he is
happy.
Really not happy. And I think it's very, very telling how angry he is and how long he's held on to this anger. Do you know what I mean? I think it's one thing to be in the middle of something that's really, really difficult and be angry, but to then still be angry, like to still be angry at Christine. Like we haven't even moved on from the anger with Christine.
Right.
I can understand, okay, you're going through some stuff with Janelle, but now you're still mad at Christine. Like you can't even move past that. Like what is going on here?
Yeah. And then with Meri, he says, I don't even know why she still lives in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And I guess she finally does leave. And she tells, there's a scene where she's telling Robin and Kody that she's not going to be around.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I still don't understand. And again, I still don't understand, and maybe I will, as we get later and later in these seasons, but I still understand why he seems so angry at Meri, so mad at her.
Yeah.
So, especially towards at this stage, like she has remained loyal to you. I mean, these other two women are gone. You would think that he would kind of come back around and want to maybe reconnect with her. I mean, if it's all about loyalty to you, she's still here. She still wants to be with you, but you're mad that she's still in Flagstaff. Like, wouldn't you want her? I don't understand why you're continuing to treat her like crap.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh, but it's so good. So August 20th, people. We will have that recap for you.
Yeah.
Up August 21st.
We will be ready. And
oof, so excited.
We'll still do our rewind.
Yes, we are not going to miss a beat, people.
We're going to keep going with that.
Yes.
So don't worry.
Yes.
Don't worry. Worried. Don't worry.
All right. But tell everybody, what are we covering today?
So today we are season 4. We're going to do episodes 5 and 6. And episode 5 is called Fertility and Nesting.
Yes.
And it starts out in the cul-de-sac with Mona.
Mona Reiki.
And I guess there's 2 homes that are being built that are almost finished. And they say that I guess they've prioritized Janelle and Christine. They could move in within a month. Because Janelle really wants to get Logan into a home, and so he feels like it's his home because he's breaking out soon.
Well, I really love that why they really desperately Kody talks about this later on, but they're desperate. The kind of guys is that they really want to establish a home base for Logan. But Kody says, and I don't know if this is in episode 5 or 6, but he says, I really want Logan to stay close to home.
Yeah.
And, go to school close to home and live at home.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose the best parent you have.
Exactly.
That's why. You don't want to lose Daddy Logan.
Yeah. They want to say, hey, Logan, you can pick any room you want.
Yeah.
You can have your own room. And
yes.
Oh, I know. And Logan is just probably counting the days and weeks.
But we meet a new character.
Yes. Tanya, the loan officer.
Tanya Cobbler.
And Kody says that, or I don't know who says this, something about all they need is the documents and to work a little magic. Well, I think it's going to take more than that.
Oh, Lordy.
And later on, and I don't know if it's this episode or the next episode, they kind of get down to brass tacks with some, money talk.
Oh God, I can't wait till we get there. That is a mess. But we see Tanya, and then they go back to the office. Then we're back at the office now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
this is sorry. I'm just looking at put my glasses on. I just looked at my notes. This is when Kody says he wants Logan to stay at home and go to school locally.
Right. So Mona is explaining to them that the bank is going to look at them. They're going to see Kody and Meri as a couple because they're still legally married at this point. And then the rest of them are basically 3 single moms. And 2 of those moms have no work. Nobody's working. It's just the show.
Yes.
This is the only income.
No. And the marketing.
Oh, the marketing.
The marketing.
The MLM.
Whatever that is.
And then Kody gets real emotional, talking about this. He tears up and he says, we've had our hearts broken before. I don't know what makes him so emotional. But anyway, back at home, Janelle is writing a business plan. They're still trying to get this gym, Fundamental Fitness, off the ground. And I guess they had an investor who backed out. So they're having a meeting about it, which is really not much of a meeting.
This is quite the meeting. Unreal.
Yeah. Janelle basically tells them how much the rent would be and what per square foot and that kind of stuff. And then she says they would need at least 1,000 members to keep the gym afloat. And then Kody just sort of abruptly says, we don't know what we're doing, and this could bankrupt us. And which is a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a good point. But, Janelle has her heart set on this and has put a lot of work and effort into it. And she gets upset that now Kody is pulling the plug because it was actually initially his idea, I think.
Yeah. Well, they also, she got into earlier, we sort of see some clips of her fitness journey. I mean, she's very tied to this now.
Right.
And I guess now the gym is sort of morphed into, because she wants to build this gym that would be essentially, for people like her, people that are out of shape, that don't really work out, to be a place where they can go and reclaim their lives just like she has. But Christine points out that a lot of times when Kody doesn't want something, it doesn't happen. And that he kind of comes in and vetoes it very quickly. And, I do think that this is probably what happens a lot in their family, is that Kody's the dreamer and sort of says, oh, let's open up a gym. And, your rent at a gym is going to be your biggest expense. Absolutely. Because you do have to rent out a big giant space, and it is going to be something like, what did you say, like $22,000 a month to rent out. Now that seems really high.
I think she was saying it was 22,000 square feet.
22,000 square feet.
And I forget what she said the cost per square foot was, but it's lots, several $1,000s a month.
Yes.
And this comes up later on in these episodes when talking about the houses to the kids, because they do this thing to the kids.
Oh, God.
Where they yo-yo them around.
Yes.
And they went out there on Christmas Day and said, here we are. We're going to build these homes out here.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, actually now, no, you're not. And a couple of the kids comment that the parents are always saying, we're going to do this, and then it doesn't happen. And it's like, you should not be telling your kids things unless it's a done deal. This is grown-up business. You don't need to tell them everything about your journey with, getting your financing or whatever, but they just share it with everybody.
No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
I know. That was so annoying. I can't believe, I know. We see that later on. I can't believe he did that. But it is, Janelle went through the trouble of writing a business plan, which is, she's the only one in the family that could do that.
Capable of that, yeah.
And anyone who's ever written a business plan, it's really not an easy thing to do. And so that she went through the trouble of putting together the numbers, and just to kind of like poo-poo it in that way, it is rude. I don't blame her or Christine or anyone else for feeling a little like, okay, just look at the numbers and let's talk about it.
Yeah, and Kody says he doesn't want to, basically put all the profits from his MLM into this gym. And it's like, really? Are you really have that? What? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money he could really make off that. But anyway, then it's fertility time again.
Yes, we're back to this whole, and I was like, oh God, now, finally. Now, what annoyed me about all of this was that it's been 4 months. Solomon is 4 months old. Now, if Meri really cared about all this, she would have, the next day, booked an appointment with her doctor. But no, they had to wait till the camera crew came back.
Right, exactly.
That's what they did.
Yeah, that was the season finale. They had a little lag time there. Yeah, so first she goes to an OBGYN, Dr. Tabasi. And on the outside of the building, it was kind of strange. I couldn't tell, is this two different places? It said baby wrap or belly wrap, boutique and spa.
Well, there was a lot of, there's some continuity problems and a bunch of things that I thought was very weird about all of this, about these appointments and all of these things.
Okay, yeah, because and then it said Dr. Tabasi, OBGYN, and it's like, anyway. Then Meri has to launch into her story about how she wanted to have 8 kids. And, she thought she'd get pregnant right away after Kody got married. Although this was strange. She said she knew she didn't want to have a honeymoon baby, but thought she would be pregnant by Father's Day. Well, so during the months of April and May, what did you do to prevent getting pregnant?
I don't know. Nothing.
Anyway, there's, I don't know, some of these details that she always talks about are so goofy. But, and then she talks about how when Janelle came into the family and Logan was born, that's when she started having her anger issues.
Yes. That was really hard. Yes.
Yeah. And then Christine and Kody got married 1 month before Logan was born. And then 1 month later, Christine was pregnant.
And, I have to say, whether or not you like Meri or not, or however your feelings are, I feel for her. I cannot imagine how awful that would be. I did not have fertility problems, but I've had a tremendous amount of clients, and I've been through them through various fertility and journeys and miscarriages and unwanted pregnancies, and I've seen it all, and it's all just awful.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I really feel for her.
Yeah. But
it's
not an excuse to be mean to people.
No, it's not. It's not. But I do get a bit of this anger, and I can kind of understand the feeling of being part of this religion and this religion,
the expectation,
and being in these large families,
right.
and also being in this religion that tells you like you're going to have a lot of, you're supposed to have a lot of children, and if you do everything right, and God's going to bless you with children, and feeling like I've done everything right, and these other women have come in and just, this whole, it just seems like a big part of how women are seen in this religion and in this world is the value is really having to do with children. And I feel for Meri feeling like I'm not very valuable.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I think that's been such a hard thing for her, is she feels like since day one, I'm not as valuable as Janelle or Christine, and now Robin, I'm not a valued person. And I think that's a lot of what we see with her. And I feel for her. I really do.
Yeah. So basically, and then she talks about the miscarriage that she had.
Yeah, she finally gets pregnant with Leon.
When Leon was 12. And Kody teared up and, talking about it. And so Dr. Tabasi sends her to a fertility specialist. And
Dr. Littman. And, he's going... Dr. Littman?
Wasn't that a man?
Wasn't the first specialist? No, Dr. Littman was a woman. Dr. Shapiro was a man.
Oh, they went to 3 doctors?
No, they went to 2. Dr. Tabasi was a woman.
Yeah.
Dr. Littman was a woman. Dr. Shapiro is in the next episode.
3 doctors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I blocked out a second woman doctor.
Dr. Littman was the one that talked about how IVF worked.
Okay.
And that was where they went to see Dr. Littman, and that was the person that talked about IVF and how IVF worked. And they left that meeting, and Meri's like, well, I still don't know what to do. This process, doesn't seem like the best. I don't know what to do. And that ended the episode.
Okay.
This entire episode was about fertility and about Meri's infertility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I feel like we've seen this episode 20 times already. So I don't know. We didn't really learn anything new.
No. But here's the inconsistency of the continuity issues that they had. So the next episode starts, which is episode 6, 4 Wives, 4 Valentines. It's very, very early morning, right? We see the car pull into a driveway that looks like that same parking area that they went to for the other fertility specialists. We see the 2 of them get out again, same outfits.
Oh.
And now they're going to see Dr. Shapiro.
Okay.
But it's the same. So it's the same day, but different.
Why do they need to go to 2 different doctors for this?
Yeah.
They're both fertility specialists.
So then Meri's telling us, well, I wanted to go. So they showed us that they're coming back a different day, but they're wearing the same outfits. And now we're meeting with a different doctor. And this is what I thought was really funny, was that this Dr. Shapiro, his whole take on it was basically he spent a lot of time talking about how Meri's eggs were old.
Yeah.
And Meri did not like that.
That's what I've been saying all along, is that someone needs to educate these people, because I don't think they really understand how this works or how fertility works.
Yeah. But this was the funniest thing, is the first one, Dr. Littman, spent a lot of time talking about IVF and blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking, like, why do they need to know about this? Why do they keep meeting with people? Like, why aren't we getting them tested?
Right.
Like, why aren't we getting them tested? And then finally it was like, oh, like Meri's going to these places to see if she even wants to be tested. Like, Meri's not even willing to like take off her clothes and get in a gown and even get poked and prodded at all. Like, this is how disinterested she is in doing this.
Well, it's just, it just seems like just a storyline. And so Meri is 41 years old at this point, and Dr. Shapiro...
He does not mince words.
He does not mince words. He says, by the time you're 40, 41, 42, most of those eggs have been depleted, and the ones that are left are of lower quality. Thank you. Finally, somebody points out the elephant in the room. And I think he also told her, again, that she doesn't know a lot about biology. He had to tell her that you're born with a finite number of eggs. And so therefore, by the time you're 41, 42, it's like, Yeah, he basically, and so he's like, listen, you don't have any eggs. So he said, your option is to get a donor egg. And they were like, oh no, we don't want a donor egg. We want it to be us. And then Meri says to Dr. Shapiro, the fertility specialist, she says, well, I don't even really know if I want to start all over again. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was Dr. Shapiro, I'm like, why are you wasting my time here, Meri? Yeah.
I would be like, I got lots to do. Why are you here?
Why are you taking up an appointment that someone else could have had?
I would have been livid. I'm like, why are you wasting my time?
Yeah.
So, and that sums it all up.
Yeah.
That sums everything up. Meri doesn't want to have any more children. She does not want to.
No.
She doesn't want to look like a jerk turning to Robin, who just gave birth. No thanks.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to turn to Robin and say, oh, that's very nice of you. I just don't want to do it. No. The time has passed. Yeah. Sorry. I'm done.
Yeah. No, that was a very,
what a waste of goddamn time.
Yeah. But Dr. Shapiro finally brought this to a conclusion.
So now the whole big thing is she's like still hemming and hawing, because the big thing is she's deciding whether or not she's going to get testing. So if she's like, oh, well, I'm still really on the fence. So I'm deciding if I want to have a child, then I need to go get the fertility testing.
Yeah, but she needs more time to think about it. She even wants to do that.
Like, no, Meri, you have no time. Your eggs are drying up as we speak. As we speak, they are drying up. You have no time. No time. So it's utterly ridiculous. The whole thing is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
It's pointless.
It's silly. So let's move on to something important.
Yes.
The Valentine's Day dance.
Yes. Big Valentine's Day dance.
And, I always think these daddy-daughter dances are kind of, weird.
I don't know.
I think they stopped.
I think daddy-daughter.
No.
I remember daddy. Didn't we have like daddy-daughter, like, soccer games and I feel like I vaguely remember daddy-daughter things when I was younger.
The only thing I remember, there was a father-daughter event for like Bluebirds, Campfire Girls.
Yes.
I remember that. And, you'd go to the park and you'd play games and, that
and
kind
Dad
of thing.
went, I remember Dad took
he went. He was very competitive.
Yes, he was. He was very
they do like the egg toss and stuff like that. And he likes it. A challenge like that.
Yeah, he would go. I remember going with him, and he liked it, and he was competitive.
But we didn't have daddy-daughter dances, and I feel like
and our father won't dance.
He wouldn't have gone to that. No. I don't think. But that's the thing. What about the people who don't have fathers or father figures, or I don't know? It just seems. I think they've changed the names of these things now. I don't think they call them, but they still do stuff like this, I think.
Yes. So they're at Christine's house, and the younger daughters. So I guess the younger daughters are Savannah, Brianna, Aurora, and Isabel. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's some other.
Gwen.
So Gwen is taking Logan.
Yeah, she said she wants her own date.
Yes.
She doesn't want to share, and she isn't going to be a polygamist.
Yes. Good for her.
And then Christine sort of shames her by saying, well, if she didn't believe in polygamy, then Gwen wouldn't be here. Again, what a weird thing to say to your child.
Wait a minute. What do you mean Gwen wouldn't be here? Gwen's her daughter.
I don't know. I mean,
if she wouldn't have Logan, Logan wouldn't be her brother, because Logan is Janelle's child. So she wouldn't have Logan. She wouldn't have Logan as her brother to take to the dance.
Oh, is that what she meant?
Yeah, I think that's what she meant.
Okay.
So, But I feel like aren't there not other little girls to take? I guess I'm wrong. No, because it's Julie's little. Oh, okay. I thought there was other little girls, but I guess I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised Kody didn't get mad that Gwen wanted to take Logan. That seems like something Kody would be like, well, I'm your dad, or
no.
I don't know.
No. I mean, I think Cody's already full of himself right now with these 4 girls. He already thinks he's a huge stud with the daughters already.
Oh, God.
And then we see them all getting ready. And I thought this was kind of interesting. Meri talks about how, because we're all separated by their homes are separated. And Meri says that she doesn't feel like she's a mother figure to the younger kids now that they're all in these separate homes.
Yeah, and she said that the siblings, they have more like friend relationships, not sister relationships. The younger ones who've never lived.
Yeah.
Basically, it's Robin's kids.
I think that's what they're talking about.
Like Gwen and Isabel, I mean, they lived with all the other kids. I don't know. They always insert Meri in there to bring some, Debbie Downer, commentary to the situation. It's like, okay, yes. Meri. Okay, so they show up at the dance, and basically there's nobody else there.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird. I was kind of like, so did they have them get there early to film and to film enough stuff that then the camera crew leaves and then they're there?
Because otherwise you'd have to get a release from like every kid's parents, that were there. So there was just a few randos in the background, but I think they filmed this before the dance actually started.
Can we talk about Kody's dancing? Because over the years we've seen some of Kody's dancing, and my God, it's bad.
It's so bad.
It's so weird.
Well, and how did that even start? How did he start dancing like it's like the Russian Cossack dancers? I mean, it's like where did you see that? Who taught you that?
And who told you that's a good thing to do?
Right. Somebody in all these years didn't say, you know what? One of your wives, honey, that's really dorky. Can you just dance like a normal person?
I don't know. I think maybe many of them did. And I think he keeps doing it.
He thinks he's a great dancer.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's not, no alcohol, Yeah. He's just out there.
Sober. He doesn't even have alcohol or weed or drugs or anything to blame for it.
No.
And the other thing is I noticed he still has on his cell phone on a clip on his belt.
On a belt,
I'm like, oh my God, you're such a dork. Like, my God, you're at a dance. Like, you're not doing business. Like,
no.
Like, really, don't be such a dork.
Well, that was a big dad thing, 10 years ago. But,
come on.
The clip on the... With some dads, I actually know somebody who still has one of those.
Our father has never worn that.
No.
My husband has never worn that.
Not our father, but...
Our father, my husband has never worn that. I know many, many people have never worn that clip, ever.
It's a certain kind of person.
Yes, but I just think it's like... But this is like a dance. Like, this is a dress-up thing, right? I mean...
Well, it's Kody.
I was just mortified. It's
Kody.
But yeah, they're all there, and Logan's dancing with Gwen, and then they all dance in a circle. It looked super dorky. But yeah, so Gwen was a little shy on the dance floor, but anyway. So then we have this really weird scene at the florist that was very produced.
It was weird. Kody goes to the florist to pick out flowers for his wives, and the woman who was helping him there, she looked very confused. And he's just sort of pointing to stuff like, oh, that's good for Meri. That's good for Janelle. That's fine for Christine. But then for Robin's flowers, he had like a very specific, she wants freesia with black magic. I don't even know what that is. Black magic. I don't know. It was real rushed.
Huh. Well, you feel like you put more care into Robin's flowers?
Yes, that was my point.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought the florists, either the florist is an excellent actor or they told the florist nothing. Because when he said wives, she looked I thought realistically shocked.
Yeah.
But it was a very produced little scene. And I was like, they got the florist to comp him some flowers because I think that's the only reason why he went there.
Yeah.
So the wives are going to throw a Valentine's Day sort of dinner party because this is the only way to make it equitable and fair for everybody.
So everyone can have access to Kody.
And they're going to have a fondue party. And I swear to God, these people love melted cheese. Have you ever noticed that they love going to that melting pot place? Mm-hmm. How many dates they will go and how often they do this?
It must be cheap or something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty cheap to just melt cheese and then, dip bread in it.
Well, I guess so. I mean, technically fondue, you're supposed to have Gruyere and some of these and they're expensive cheeses if you do it right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of cheese these people are melting.
Probably Velveeta.
Yeah. Brooke. Terrible.
What?
I mean, it's got to be at least cheddar, right?
I don't know.
Well,
they're on a budget.
The things are, finances are finite.
Yeah, finite resources.
You think Janelle's like the one cutting them off?
She's not going to buy Gruyere cheese, and that's like $8 a pound or something.
But and then they came up with this wacky idea to decorate Kody's car.
Oh yeah,
and this took up a lot of time of the episode.
Well, they had to. It was a decoy. They had to. Robin had to pretend that her car had a flat tire and that she needed to borrow Kody's car. Now, this is his new car that he just got from the MLM.
From the marketing.
From the marketing job or whatever it is. God. And he seems hesitant to give it to her.
Yeah.
And he hesitantly gives her the key. And, they're talking about how...
Well, don't forget, this is what I love. He's over at Christine's house. Mm-hmm. And what does he say to Robin? He's like, well, I got to go soon. I got to leave. I got to go soon.
Yeah, where are you going?
Yeah, but he's at Christine's house. He needs to leave soon. Don't forget. He's at Christine's.
Oh, so he doesn't want to get stuck at Christine's?
He doesn't want to get stuck at Christine's without a car. He's like, oh, crap, I can't get stuck here at Christine's.
But where are you going? This is of the party. They're getting ready for the party. Like...
Well, I don't know if it's like the day of the... I don't know. Is that the day of the party? All I know is that he had somewhere else to be and he did not want to be stuck at Christine's. I just thought that was really funny. It was like, oh, you've got somewhere to be.
Yeah. So they take the car and I guess I don't know where they take it to, but all the kids are there.
I think down at Robin's house.
Yeah. See, Robin only lives down the street. He could have walked out and saw them doing all of this.
Yeah.
Or why didn't they just do it in the driveway when he was in the house?
Because I think they were fearful of him seeing him.
But they just went down the street. He could have seen them down the street.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, so the kids are putting all these stickers and stuff on the car, and they're saying, you have to be careful with Kody's car, only on the windows, not on the car. And then Robin comes back in and tells Kody that she scratched his car, which is,
or dented. But of course, because it's Robin.
Yeah, he doesn't seem upset. He almost seems like he knows something is up. He's kind of like, okay. She's like, come out, I have to show you. And she didn't do a very good job of pulling that off.
Yeah.
She didn't come in like really upset and... oh my God, don't be mad at me, but I scratched your car. So anyway,
maybe this is one of their role-playing games they play when it's her night. She's like, you be car mechanic and I'll be like silly housewife that gets the car dented a lot.
Yeah. Or you be, I come home and I tell you I scratched the car and you tell me how much trouble I'm in.
And then you tell me, I'm going to tell you that we have finite resources.
Yeah, now what are we going to do? So he goes outside.
He sees it. He doesn't seem very, very happy about it at all. I think he seems so annoyed.
I think he's annoyed. He's probably thinking those fuckers better not have scratched my car. This whatever they're putting on this car better not ruin the paint.
Yeah. Because if he had a place to go, he's now like, oh crap, now I'm going to be late for wherever it is that I have to go and I got to clean all this stuff off and I got a bunch of balloons in my car.
Oh, yeah. He hated that.
Yeah.
So then the next scene, I guess, is the actual night of the dinner.
Yeah, it's the Valentine's Day party.
I don't know whose house they're at, But,
it better be Mary's, because she's the one that claimed her house was going to be the party house.
But I feel like it never is. It's always either at Janelle or Christine's house, and they're the two that have,
I bet you it is Christine's, because it seemed like that was party central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way he gives out these bouquets of flowers is very perfunctory. He just kind of, it's like, here, hands them their flowers, gives them a very quick peck.
Well, in the last two, he can't figure out whose is whose. He's like, oh, crap. Is this one Robin's or is this one Christine's? Like, he really can't keep them straight.
No, because he didn't really put any much care into picking them out. And then I don't know if much else happens at the party.
Well, no, this is when he makes that announcement.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, other than the announcement.
About, meeting with Tanya Cobbler about the thing. And it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah, he just makes this big announcement that tomorrow they're going to find out if they can get the homes.
Yes.
And the kids are probably just like, what? This again? Like, what? Okay.
Yes.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. So now we go to the big meeting.
So now we're talking to Tanya. Now, Tanya tells them that financing is available. However, it's not traditional financing.
Yes.
And this is what it's like private lending or hard money loans. It's basically just an individual who has money, wants to, invest it and make some interest. And so the interest rates are pretty high,
And what are they normally? Do you know?
Well, it kind of depends on what the regular interest rate is. It kind of tracks with that. But I mean, I see a lot of these hard money loans in my work, and they're usually like around 10%.
Okay.
Sometimes it could be slightly more, slightly less.
Well, interest rates right now are higher than normal.
They're higher, like if you get a mortgage.
So right now, what would be a hard money loan interest rate?
It would probably be more like 12.
Okay.
Because I think the regular interest rate is around 6. I believe.
So it's normally it sounds like it's double.
Kind of double, yeah.
Of whatever.
At least double the interest. It could be more if you have bad credit. And so basically these are for people who can't get a traditional loan from a bank because of lack of income or bad credit or whatever. But this private lender wants a 40% down payment
per property. So I was trying to do the math on this because I'm sorry, I've asked you this question before, and I apologize to the listeners. When they sold the homes for how much each? Around $400,000?
It was about $430
each.
Yeah.
And they bought the homes for how much?
I don't
something?
know. That I don't know. But see, here's the thing. So Tanya's also explaining to them that this would be like an interest-only loan, and what that means is at some point there's a balloon payment. And she's basically telling them that, you won't need to be in the loan for very long. Because your goal is you want to try to refinance and get traditional financing after you've been in the home and you've made payments and whatnot. So I think that balloon payment was what drove them out of Las Vegas.
Because they were in Las Vegas for how long once they got into these homes?
I think 4 or 5 years. So
does that seem
timing,
about right?
Yeah. Usually a balloon payment is after like 3 years, 5 years. It could be 10 years. It could be anything. But that would track.
Okay.
So that would mean that they would have a balloon payment for each house, meaning the entire amount. Because if you're just paying interest, you still owe the entire principal. So it'd be, $400,000-ish times 4, or refinance. But they maybe couldn't get refinanced.
But I was going back to, because if each house was worth, let's say, $300,000, 40% down, they had to come up with 40% down of $300,000. So that's 120 each.
times
4. That's 480. They don't have $500,000. That's $500,000 cash.
Yeah.
How do they have $500,000 plus closing costs? How?
I don't know.
That's insane.
Now this is, this deal fell through.
Yeah.
This house fell through, ultimately how they ended up pulling this off, I don't know.
Well, we will soon learn. But I mean, so okay. So it was private lending. Okay. So they needed to come up with 40% per down payment per property. And then it would be a higher interest rate. And that's crazy. That is just crazy. And so
it's very risky.
So even with the 40% down payment, they would still have this balloon payment. And
Correct.
Then with the 40% down, then the 60% they would be financing, that would be all interest. Mm-hmm. And then the balloon payment would be what? The 60% they would owe all the 60% at the end?
The principal. Unpaid principal.
Unpaid principal. And they would have to pay all of that at once?
Yeah.
How do people even do that?
Well, again, they use it as a tool to get into a house, establish, better credit or better payment history, whatever. And then they can go to a bank and say, hey, we want to refinance, so give us a conventional loan. And then they get rid of that balloon payment.
Got it.
Or, sometimes, I don't know, it's very risky. I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, well, I'll worry about that later.
Yeah. And I know this is what happened in, happened in 06, 08,
That's probably what Kody thought. Like, oh, I'll worry about that later.
Well, my marketing
company, between the show and my marketing job.
Yes.
I'm just going to be so flush with money.
And as we all think we are.
It won't be a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
And he had a desperation about him, because he was so intent on these 4 homes right next to each other. And, Kody, typically it's like, you make these, you do these things and then you figure out the consequences later, Anyway.
Well, and Mona wasn't there. And what they learned, which was a huge thing, was one of the houses sold. Yeah. So that was a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me was the lead. Right? Because it makes no sense. Like once one of the houses, I know obviously that fell through, but because we all know they get the houses eventually, but that to me, that's the lead. Like once a house is sold, it's like to have 3 houses there, that makes no sense. Right.
But I wonder if there was space to build 3 more houses or if there's only space for 2 more houses. I don't know how big.
I don't know.
If it's a cul-de-sac, I guess it's a limited, so, yeah, there probably wasn't room to buy or to build more. Anyway, so after this, of course, they have to go back and meet with the kids.
Yes.
Again.
And tell them.
Inappropriate. And tell them that no, they're not going to get the houses.
But this is how they tell them. He sits them and he says, well, we have some good news and bad news. You have no good news.
Yeah, what was the good news?
What was the good news? The good news is we qualified. The good news was we qualified. No, you didn't.
Which isn't even true.
That's not even really true.
You did not qualify.
You didn't really qualify for. You qualified for something that anybody could qualify for,
and that you can't afford.
You qualified because you're a human being. You stand upright.
Yeah, because you
breathe.
You're breathing.
So I love the good news, bad news thing. But the bad news is one of the houses sold and we don't have enough money to pay for it, nor could we even afford it. And, we're idiots and we're living way above our means. And the best is, this is my favorite, is Leon says, my parents say a lot of things and about what they're going to do. And it really never seems to happen. So I try not to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
And then Logan says, they usually give us the best scenario. And a lot of times it's just not how it is. I just love how Logan's just the party line. Yeah. Very, a very nice, thoughtful party line.
Logan knows what's up and he's just going along with it. He's just doing his time. He's putting in the time and he's almost out.
But I love how the kids know, like during these talks, that they're kind of like in one ear out the other because they know their parents are nuts and they tell them a lot of things that may or may not happen and they just kind of wait to see until they get there if it's really going to happen.
They move all the time. They,
So they must, some things do happen. I'm sure when the parents told them about this show and all of that, they must have also thought, oh God, we're not going to be on a TV show. And then all of a sudden this show showed up. So
yeah, I still can't believe they're on a TV show, but
so sometimes things do end up happening, but sometimes things don't. I mean, listen, they did make these houses work. How, I don't know.
I will never understand how they got into those houses.
I do wonder if TLC or Puddle Monkey
Put
helped
some
them.
money in.
Helped them, got them like credit or something, because there's no way they put 40% down. No way.
They don't have that kind of money.
And I wonder if they found a different kind of lender and put far less down. And I mean, obviously one of the houses fell through. So whoever bought that house, that fell through. But I wonder if they found a different lender and made a different kind of deal, but then also did the balloon payment thing. And that's what you're talking about.
I'm positive they had the interest-only balloon payment, because that also makes your payments less. And so to something, because they still have to make these payments.
Yeah.
And we don't know, like, I really wish I knew how much they got paid for the show. And I know that at one point, I don't know what season it was, but the ratings were really down and TLC was going to cancel the show.
Oh, I read that. I want to say it was somewhere around season, was it like 11 or 12? It was like midway through.
Okay.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. And they said, we'll take a pay cut. And so now I wonder if, since the show has finally gotten, good, and hopefully they got a raise, they negotiated more. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they were really making that much money back then, because they were still having to do all their side hustles.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, but by this point, they are doing the marketing. So they're now like known, and they've got the MLM things going, but they're not at the place that they are now with the MLMs. So, but I think they're now starting to see things, like I think they're now getting some popularity in social media, and I think they're starting to see stuff come in. Yeah, well, now, everything's separate. So Kody's only got he and Robin.
Yeah, well, that's why Robin is fake crying so much, because they lost 3 incomes.
Yeah.
They don't have any money. Like, she's going to have to go to work, or someone's going to have to go to work, or they're going to have to sell their house or something.
Or you're going to have to lower your cameo rates. Kody, you're going to have to start doing cameos for like $30 or something and start churning them out, or you're going to have to do some more MLMs or more marketing or something.
And I read somewhere that the gun show stuff that he does is not very lucrative. And the guy that is his partner,
Brian,
the one from the wedding, he's not very popular in the gun world, and no one wants to buy from him because he ratted out one of his former partners to avoid going to prison for these violations. They were violating the gun show rules, and the friend ended up going to prison. So he's not very well liked. So I don't,
interesting.
Don't have a good reputation.
Yeah. Well, I saw when I woke up this morning, I was on Instagram, and I saw a really beautiful photo of Leon and Meri together. And so it made me very happy to see. I didn't know, because I think we were talking about this last time. I didn't know if Meri and Leon were like spent time together, but it looks like they are.
Yeah, they were at Gwen's wedding.
Gwen got married yesterday. So congratulations, Gwen. And what's Gwen's wife's name?
Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember.
Well, I went on Gwen's social media, but nothing had been posted yet. So maybe Gwen's got a deal with someone, or maybe Gwen's like going to post everything on her own.
I thought I saw it on her on her feed.
And then, but I guess Leon was there, and so
I wonder if Kody was there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't see anything there. And then I went on Christine's feed to see if Christine posted.
Beatrice is her name. Sorry.
And I went on Christine's feed to see anything, but Christine was just posting stuff about her new house with David. So I was like, okay.
Her concrete.
Yes.
She loves her concrete.
Oh, yes.
That woman, it doesn't take a lot to make her happy.
No, it doesn't.
She's very happy about simple things.
Yes.
Jesus. Kody couldn't even do that.
No. God.
She's not hard to please.
No, she is not. She is not. She just wanted someone to, she just wanted to get out of the basement And she just wanted someone to love her.
Yeah.
That's all she wants.
To hold her hand, to take her to Disneyland, to tell her she's beautiful.
And to just love her.
God, it's so
pay
easy.
attention to her. You know, once every 4 nights, that's all she wanted, you know, to someone to just, you know, be there for her. So, yeah, but I didn't see anything. So, and I didn't look anywhere else, but that's all I really saw. So I'm very happy for Gwen and
then Christine's
Beatrice
next. I don't know when her wedding is going to be, but it should
maybe
be
that's
soon.
season 19, Christine's wedding.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, maybe there'll be a separate wedding special. But you can't do a separate wedding special because you have to get the reaction of Kody of Christine's wedding. Do you know what I mean? You have to get the side by side of watching Kody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, like Christine said, you know, when there was a lot of talk about if she was going to leave the show or have a spinoff or whatever, she said, no, I'm in it. We all promised each other that we would do this, you know, because they need the money.
Yeah.
And it's Sister Wives. It is the show. It wouldn't make sense to have a spinoff because, you know, they're all interrelated and the relationships and everything. So as long as it's kind of like Sex and the City, you know how the movie didn't get made because of Kim Cattrall. So I guess all it takes is one person to say, no, I'm not going to do it, and it would screw the whole thing up. So they're all sticking together.
And just like that, it's just
it fell apart.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. They couldn't get her back. They thought, well, we're going to do this anyway, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
If you listen to our and just like that recaps.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good little segue if you want to wrap things up, Brooke.
Yeah. So, if you are watching and just like that, we are covering that on our, what day does it come out?
Well, our podcast for that? Mondays.
I'm confused because we used to be Tuesday, Thursday. We switched that. So Mondays, that comes out if you're interested. Go subscribe and get that delivered to your inbox. And like we said in the beginning, we're going to continue to do the rewinds until the next season starts, and then we'll be doing both rewinds.
Ooh, yes, both. It's going to be it's going to be all Sister Wives all the time.
Yes, it's going to be all Sister Wives, all fall.
All fall. Ooh. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All Sister Wives, all fall.
Yes. So please subscribe to the podcast so you can get all of this, and give us a 5-star rating and review. We are on TikTok and Instagram at PsychLegalPop. And
rating.
Oh, huh?
Give us a review.
Yeah,
did you say
I said that?
And subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, you did everything. Sorry.
Rating and review. I know.
Tell a friend. Tell 2 friends.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Spread the news.
Spread the news. And I think that's it.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellows wherever you get your podcasts.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.